So dear students, in our last section we have seen what is MuCOS2 and the features of MuCOS2. Today we will see the kernel structure of MuCOS2. So the kernel structure of MuCOS2 contains the application code which is responsible for providing the consistent and clean code. Now the main part is processor independent code, and which is based on the various objects of MuCOS2, that is scheduling policy. Which scheduling algorithm is used? We have seen the various scheduling algorithms in our last section, that is first in first out, round robin with priority, shortest job first. According to that, which scheduling will be used? Then event flag also we have seen, they are responsible for generating the particular events by using the various bits. Semaphore is used for the resource synchronization and the task synchronization. Mailbox is of our general mailbox, which is responsible for sending and receiving the mails in between the tasks. Event queue is nothing but the general array of queue where the messages of all the events has been stored. Task management is responsible for monitoring all the tasks in such a way that each and every task should be executed. Time management means whatever task we are having, that should be executed within that time. And memory management is responsible for usage of memory. So these are the various objects that are used in the MuCOS2. Now, most of the RTOS offers the mechanism for communication and synchronization between tasks. Yes, we have seen that it is necessary that there should be communication and synchronization between tasks so that each and every task should be executed. These mechanisms are necessary in primitive environment of many tasks. So whenever there is a primitive environment, the task and synchronization and communication between tasks is necessary. Most RTOS provide several communication with each mechanism for passing different kind of information from task to task. So various ways of communication like mailbox, message queue is provided so that we can pass the information from task to task. If it is we want to send it to particular task, it will be done by sending the message, and if it is to be for all the tasks, then broadcasting has been done. If message can be sent more quickly than that can be handled, the RTOS provide message queue for holding the messages. So whenever there are number of messages and sending the message is more quickly than handling the message, then message queue is the best option to store all the messages. Synchronization information is like a command where some commands could be positive and some command could be negative. Yes, whenever there is a synchronization of information, it's not necessary that always the commands will be positive. Some will be positive and some will be negative. So negative command means what? Whenever suppose any task is there and suppose any particular interrupt tries to occur, so it will give the message that please don't print right now because my task is using the printer. Means we will not offer you the access to the resource because our task is accessing that particular resource. So it is the negative command. And positive command means I have detected emergency and I want you to help me to handle it. Means whenever there is an emergency and help is needed, then that is called as the positive command. So for handling this negative synchronization, semaphore or mutex is used, because semaphore and mutex is responsible for task and resource synchronization. So by using event flags also we can do the synchronization in between the tasks in a positive way. So now these are the inter-task communication and synchronization which are based on the kernel structure. In our next lecture, we will see the detail of inter-task communication and synchronization. Thank you.